Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of First and Last. I'm Joe, and with me is Jimmy.
What's up?
And also Claire.
Hey, Joe.
Look at me hosting. I'm pretty sure I peaked right away.
And this has
Maybe-
been another episode.
Pretty sure I might go back and re-record that later. We'll see.
You looked so excited, though. Like, you got to keep it, man.
Does Josh say anything else at the beginning?
No, I don't.
He banters.
Banters?
Yeah,
So
I guess.
what's going on in your life?
We got banter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
This is-
welcome to another episode of the Newlywed Game.
Eh.
Newlyweds.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe, what
Yeah.
is Claire's favorite TV show?
Hot dog. Oh. Hot dog. Hot dog on NBC.
Yep, for sure.
Man,
See, we're gonna win the game. What do you win? What do you win in the Newlywed Game? I don't.
you get to
I don't really
remain
know that show.
married.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The rest of them must get divorced.
Oh, that's like real
You
life.
have to get divorced. That can't be real.
So longtime listeners might notice that Josh is gone.
Finally.
He's serving his 3-week suspension.
I thought you were gonna say
Um,
jail time.
Yeah,
He's in prison.
he's just out of here. So if things get weird, or if things get great, just know that it's because Josh isn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like came by and got my cooler, but I was in a Zoom call for work, and I'm like out there, and he's like, of course, like making a bunch of noise and like being Josh in the background, and I'm like, hi, Josh. So I hope he's having fun on his suspension.
Yeah. And so now you got all three of us. I don't think the three of us have ever been in a room together.
Ever.
Ever.
No, yeah, just us three. Have we ever done a first and last together? Just us?
No, because Josh has been on all of them.
Oh,
This is like-
a first.
This is like you know, when they hang up, like 0 incidents since 0 days since last workplace.
Yeah.
0 days since no Josh.
What a joy.
So wait, now it's your job normally, Joe. So
Oh yeah, so
gotta
I
ask me a question.
I gotta say,
Or
Claire, what is this podcast about?
So in this podcast, we listen to we watch the
Oh.
first episode of a TV show. And then wait, did I do it wrong already? You're looking at me like
No,
I did
that
it wrong
sounds
already.
right.
I got it. We're
Okay,
watching the
Joe,
first episode
you
of a
got-
TV show, and
You
then
got okay, no, you do it.
no, I can't do it to myself. It doesn't work like that.
Then we talk about it, we make predictions, and then we watch the last episode of a TV show and we see if they come true. It's the
Yeah.
first and the last.
This
Nothing
is,
in the middle though. I like that about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Keeps
going
it spicy.
very well.
We're
just
so
bread.
good at this. Josh, come back.
No, boo.
So what are we doing this week?
yeah,
the show?
Joe
Yeah.
show?
I picked a show. I did a lot of research for this because it's not a readily available show. I actually had to find it on YouTube. Some kind soul uploaded every episode of this to YouTube, and it somehow hasn't been taken down.
Oh, that's a gem. I love a
Excellent.
good YouTube find. I'm
Yeah.
not good at that. I'm not good at finding stuff on YouTube. So I'm impressed by this.
I think it mostly is able to exist on YouTube because it's a like PBS show from the 90s. So I don't think people are like really trying to protect that IP.
Jimmy, are you as excited as I am?
That
PBS
that,
show from the
that
90s.
piques my interest for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does
Well,
Arthur?
do you like spooky stuff? A little bit
Wait,
pre-Arthur.
Pre-
A little bit
You
pre-Arthur.
gotta say the other part. Spooky stuff. Do you like
Oh,
spooky stuff?
You like spook
stuff?
shows?
I mean, I'm real intrigued, but I have no idea what show this is.
The show is 1992's Ghostwriter.
Yeah.
You remember Ghostwriter?
Oh man, like, not really. It's so long ago.
Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You were watching a lot more Power Rangers at this point, probably.
92.
So.
Probably a lot of turtles.
Oh, Turtles. See, I don't know my like cartoon time periods, but
Yeah,
no, this show
this-
is great. I don't really remember what happens in it, but I am in it, and I hope it is as good as it was when I was a child.
Yeah, it ran from 3 seasons from 92 to 95. And it was definitely a show that I enjoyed. I don't think I've seen all of it, but I've seen a good amount. But I also haven't watched it since I was a kid, so I don't really remember exactly how it works.
I'm getting it confused a little bit with Are You Afraid of the Dark in my head. And I'm like, no, this is the one where there's like vegetable soup and they can like read words because it's also like a reading show.
Yeah, it's like a reading show. They're like solving mysteries.
Dude, I bet this show taught me how to read when I was in middle school.
Yeah. Like this and Wishbone. This and Wishbone.
I never watched Wishbone. That's probably why I can't read.
Man.
Sad.
Wishbone
like
doesn't really
Lamb
help
Chop.
you to read.
Was Lamb Chop the one with the song that never ended?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried to sing that to a kid once. They didn't know. They have no idea.
Not into it.
That was like a fad
They had
that
no
only
idea.
some people know.
As in, like, they're like waiting for the song to end and they're like, oh, is it going to be this time?
No, they mainly look at you like, why are you, like, I don't, like, this is kind of dumb. And I'm like,
Oh.
no, but it was Lamb Chop. It just over and over.
The kid wasn't like, this is a bop.
This is a jam.
No, they didn't.
It's a banger. This lamb
Okay,
chop
so
slaps.
You don't
the
remember
things-
anything about Ghostwriter.
The things you're saying are like jaunting my memory a little bit, but I'm just like,
Mhm.
doesn't sound like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? I don't know what this is.
Ooh, can we do that show too?
Yeah, I forgot about
a-
Carmen
Doesn't sound
Sandiego.
like
Maybe like a
Shining
double
Time
header?
Station.
All great shows, man. What happened to PBS?
We should just do PBS month.
Oh, sign me up. I will give you guys money for that.
Yeah, we're gonna need to run like
I'll be your one Patreon sponsor just so you guys only watch PBS shows.
We need to run like a call-in drive to run a PBS month.
Can you get a tote bag?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm in.
This pod is brought to you by viewers like yourself. Cool.
Any other facts we should know before we watch?
I don't want to give too much away if Jimmy doesn't really recall things about it. Like, Jimmy, what do you think the Ghostwriter is?
I assume it's like, I don't know. I think it's like somebody's
Do you
like
think that?
pen pal. I don't think it's like someone's actual
Ooh.
ghostwriter. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it's a literal ghost though?
I think it's more along the lines of someone thinks it's a literal ghost who's writing to them.
Okay.
I like the idea of a pen pal though. That kind of is fun.
It's a pen pal with a ghost. That's what I think. My pen pal is a ghost.
That seems right. I just remember the only thing I can remember in my head is like the alphabet soup thing I picture.
Mhm.
There's also like a kid and there's some kid looking over their shoulder at the alphabet soup thing that I'm thinking of. It's kind of like filmed more dark. It's not as bright as a lot of those shows were at the time. So I remember that being a big difference. But I don't remember anything about the show. I don't remember how to read. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty excited to check it out. Like,
Yeah.
if this is good, dude, I might have to do this in my online classes soon. Like,
Worth it.
Because they
why
won't know.
not?
I will. Yeah. I will say I had to do some research to make sure that like the full episodes were on YouTube. But I also wanted to make sure that the correct like first and last were there. Which is a good thing that I checked because the last episode is actually just like it's like a reunion special type of thing. It's like an interview with like Katie Couric.
Oh.
So I'm glad
I want to watch that.
yeah, so I'm glad I skipped through that. So when we do the last, we'll actually do the second to last, which is the true last episode. But for the first episode, I was just like, I knew I had the title right, so I just letting it run in the background to make sure that it played. But I did see like there is a very special guest star in the first episode.
Oh.
Who's like a huge movie star that you would be surprised was in this show. So,
I want
stay
you to
tuned
bet.
for that.
I want some bets. Who do you?
Yeah, you
Who
want
do
to throw out some names?
92.
Are we gonna get a gender?
It was a male actor. And I will say it was the type of thing where he had signed up for the pilot, and then had done more acting and had become a huge star by the time the show was picked up. So by the time the show came back, he was like, "Yeah, I can't do this anymore."
So he's a one and doneer. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because he became huge.
I think
in
it's
the
gonna
meantime.
be like 92. Well, what year was like Who's the Boss? Like Leonardo DiCaprio? I don't know. He's in it.
That's a decent guess, I would say. I'm gonna say
He's in a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna say, gosh, 92. I'm gonna say RDJ. Say
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Although he's probably
Oh.
doing
Okay.
a lot of coke still at the time. So
Well-
maybe not.
What? Who else can it be? Can I get like another vote?
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I don't know. No, he didn't do movies.
I will say it's more on the
He was
Jimmy
young.
RDJ route where it's someone
Oh.
you would not expect to be on a PBS Kids show.
Oh.
Oh,
yet,
okay.
here
I'm
he
just
is.
I'm just gonna like be surprised because this is gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
Can I get a backup? Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's my backup.
Oh, that'd be creepy a little bit.
Third backup,
A lot.
Denzel.
Oh.
I got.
That might be. I feel like Denzel is pretty big in the late 80s. So
Yeah, you're right.
maybe
All these
not,
people
but-
are probably already.
He's like the older dad that's looking over the kids
Who's
over the
just
alphabet
coming up?
soup.
I don't know. Okay. We got a show title, Joseph?
Yeah, so the other thing about Ghostwriter is that the episodes are kind of grouped together in like five episode story arcs.
Oh.
So like they would solve a mystery over 5 episodes.
Oh, dang.
So we're
yeah,
not even gonna
that
get to
sounds
see the end
awesome.
of the mystery?
Yeah, you know, that
Nope.
happens.
That happens quite a
Oh.
bit, actually, on this pod. More often than
So
not.
yeah, so this first episode is part 1 of Ghost Story.
Okay.
Okay. On the nose
Right on.
a little bit with that. All right, let's do it. Let's watch some
I'm ready.
Ghost Story.
We will be back after watching episode 1 entitled Ghost Story Protocol. And we're back from the first episode of Ghostwriter, which was part 1 of Ghost Story, a 5-episode arc.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
And before we get to the write-up, any first impressions?
I'm totally going to watch all of this.
Just
Show
nice.
you immediately love.
Like, I think this is great. I want to know the science behind it and the research. I think it's awesome.
What do
You mean the
think
science
there's-
behind like the educational purposes of this?
Oh, yeah. I'm already, like, assessing, like, what skills they're working on with it. And I think it's a show that actually I could use in my class. Like,
Cool. Well,
I mean, they are, like, younger kids, but, you know, throwbacks to the early 90s are cool right now. And it was brought to you by Nike.
that's
Nike's
pretty
bringing
dope.
you some PBS shows? What?
It's pretty dope.
yeah.
Plus
So, yeah,
snakes on a
interested to
plane.
hear more about
guys in
that.
there.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
Not to spoil. So, you think the kids have to like bring their own ghosts to school, or how's that gonna work?
Yeah, you know,
I mean,
There's a
on
little
Zoom
ghost
or
inside.
Whatever.
there's a little ghost inside all of us that helps us to read.
I mean, that would be great if there's actually like ghosts that help people read. Like, from what I understand in real life, ghosts are just like white people from like settlers' times who are angry and staying in house. Those are the only ghosts I ever hear about.
They're just Puritans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
Angry.
just freaking out. They're freaking out at our technology.
That's
They're
probably
Like
why
in a rocking
Catholics
chair.
are so into ghosts. 'Cause
Oh.
it's the Protestants that are haunting them.
It's like, what is this? How did you turn on those lights? You did that from your cellular device?
Ghosts.
What is that even?
What
I'm
is
just confused
what is
about
this
technology.
Google. Gibberish. Okay, should I
Who
read
is
this
this
thing?
Google you keep talking to?
Yeah, let's hear
Give
what
me
it's
that-
about.
That right
Okay.
up.
All right. While searching for a trunk in the basement, Jamal and his dad unwittingly knock. That's not. This sentence doesn't make sense. Knock a book open, releasing a spirit. After helping his dad, Jamal sees what looks like monsters dancing in the park later that night. While using the computer his sister gave to him before leaving for college, he sees strange messages appearing on the screen out of nowhere while his sister can't see them. The next day, Jamal finds a button with the word Thabto, which is not a word at all.
Yeah, Thabto.
Thabto. Okay, and a coded message back by the park. So after meeting Jamal, Lenny finds words for a song she has written that are rearranging to form a message. Jamal finds in his locker a warning message mentioning the fact that he was in the park the night before, and while showing it to Lenny, both of them begin to see the letters in a bulletin board forming a friendly warning. They realize only them can see it. They decide to find out who or what is trying to contact them and why. So that's what the write-up says.
Cool.
You really sold it, man.
I feel
You
like
really sold it.
I feel like a lot more happened than that, but
Ghostwriter can use a rewrite of that for sure.
Ghostwriter needs a ghostwriter for its write-ups.
But yeah, basically, part 1 of 5, so we don't really get to solve the mystery or anything. We're just kind of introduced to the characters and get a little bit of what's going on with this ghost. We don't really get to see much of what the ghost does, right?
Apparently right now it's
Yeah.
just messing with them.
Yeah, because it like shows up. There's like a tail on the end of like a light beam that rearranges letters.
Yeah, it's like an orb. But yeah, it seems like
Orb.
it's restricted to like written text. Like it can't just communicate with them. It needs to like take letters that are there and rearrange them to communicate with them. That's what we're led to believe, right?
Well, then how is it typing to him on the computer?
They don't.
Seems like computers outside of those rules, yeah.
Yeah, right. Because right away, Jamal talks to it
Uh-huh.
via
computer.
the computer because he's just talking to the computer for no reason.
He's just playing. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out on the computer," and he types, "Hello, computer. Are you ready for what was it? A radical dude named Jamal?
Dynamic dude or
Dynamite
something?
dude, yeah."
Dynamite dude. And then the
Yeah,
computer's
that
like,
was a
"Yeah,
little- a
cool.
lot.
I'm into it." No, he's like, actually, the computer's like freaking out and being freaky and like, help, like, where are the children?
Yeah,
So
that's the
then-
first thing that Ghostwriter communicates to him is help, 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 help. Where are the children?
Yeah,
Yeah,
terrifying.
it's literally everyone's fear in the 90s. Like, you are going to be taken. Like, and what's up with those creepy people with masks that he
Yeah.
sees? Like, that's
Yeah.
weird.
The monsters
was really
LARPing
scary.
in the park.
Did you guys notice, though, it seems like it's, like, darker, like, sharp, like more so than other, like, PBS shows? It's, like, darker.
Oh, for sure.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good amount of it is made to look like it's actually like on a New York street rather than on Sesame Street, like on just like a bright soundstage. Yeah.
I don't know. I just found it, like, it's surprising that I remembered that, and then it came true, and I was like,
I think even
Yeah,
it
just
starts
the
out pretty
fact
dark.
that he, like, Jamal's carrying groceries at night. Like, I don't remember ever seeing a night scene on a PBS show before.
Yeah.
well, I also never saw that actor that I was pretty surprised to see.
Heck yeah.
Nobody-
Jamal's dad, Samuel L. Jackson.
Who would have thought?
Did it take you a second to like realize who that was?
It did because they're in the dark basement, and at first I couldn't see him. I could just hear his voice, and I recognized
Yeah, and the
it,
YouTube
but-
stream is like a little grainy too.
Yeah. So it took me a second, and then when it realized, it was just great.
Yeah.
So
So there's a certain line, I forget, where it's like Jamal's like trying to pull the trunk and he's like, I can't do it. And his dad says something like, well, you got to put the stuff down and pull the trunk then. And like his delivery on that was just like, oh my God, it sounds just like Frozone.
Yeah, that's classic.
You know, his most famous role,
Samuel.
Frozone.
Yeah. I'm trying to. So what would he have been leaving this for?
I was trying to do a little bit more research in that, and it looks like he was in like most of this first arc. Actually, it wasn't just the first episode. So
That's
yeah, it
sweet.
was something in '93 or so that he was in, and I think there was like the Die Hard movies.
Wait,
it
so
J-
time up.
Is it
He's
JP?
in the first
Was it
5
Jurassic
episodes
Park?
of this?
Oh yeah, it was Jurassic Park. I think was '93 or something, right?
He's not in
What were you
the
saying?
full. I think he's in. He's probably in the arc, but maybe not in every episode of it.
Okay.
Because he
That's
did
still
just
impressive.
leave. He did just leave with mom to take Denitra to school, so they could have just wrote him
Yeah.
out that way.
We also didn't
Yeah.
talk about the diverse cast and the fact that they had a family that spoke another language on the show.
So
yeah,
dope.
and there weren't
No subtitles.
subtitles when Mr. Fernandez was like clearly like, "What are you doing? You have to do your homework."
I also thought it was really interesting how he spoke Spanish to the children and then spoke English to the wife later. Like it was just clear that they had like put in that to like is like like I don't know. I was like, dude, could I learn Spanish by watching this show?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty dope.
Well, I mean, it seems like for a show that's trying to teach kids about language and reading, like, especially in urban centers, that's something you would want to include, right? Like a bilingual family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but do you know how much of TV includes a bilingual family? Like none. This is awesome.
More in this episode than in any show right now.
Like
fluent
the white
Spanish.
people have the shittiest apartment. Like it's awesome. This show's great.
Did they have a shitty apartment?
They had.
Well, they
an
have,
We're
like-
apartment.
talking about Lenny's
Rather than
family,
a
right?
home.
Yeah.
They were in
But
the
you-
apartment above the grocery store.
Yeah.
So
Which
like
I started
they're-
daydreaming about that, and I was like, man, it'd be cool to like just have a grocery that
Just walk
close. Just like, oh, I need some snacks. I'm just gonna head downstairs.
I just like, dude,
Yeah.
Jamal's house is cool. I liked all of the rooms in that house. It looks kind of like the Cosby Show house, though. Like the same stairs.
Yeah, they kind of had like a walk up, like in the
That's
Cosby
a
Show.
classic, yeah, a classic like sitcom staircase.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Lenny lived with her dad in the apartment above the grocery store, and like Lenny's dad is like in a band,
Yeah.
and they're like rehearsing in the living room.
A
Yeah.
jazz band, right?
Yeah, like a little
pretty
jazz funky quartet.
One of the
Very
first
90s.
things we learn about Lenny is that she's like a singer songwriter, and then and then her next scene she's like writing a rap on a bench.
Yeah.
It's like this girl is dope.
Yeah, she's like editing it, like trying to find the right words to rhyme,
Yeah,
and she's got some bars.
she was spitting
Yeah, she's got some rhythm.
bars.
But then the ghost got her. Because they ran into each other. That was the way the ghost passes in this is quite strange.
it's arbitrary.
How do you mean?
Yeah, it's arbitrary and it's like you bump into someone and then the ghost will just
Oh.
like float from your backpack to their
The
backpack.
you
See-
bump and that ghost just like whoa and flies to the next thing.
But then it sticks with you.
So how did wait? Because I feel like it made sense to me at the time. So the Ghostwriter was in Jamal's laptop, and then hops
That's not a laptop.
or yeah on Jamal's like computer,
His PC.
and then hopped into Jamal's like book bag with his books, right?
Yeah.
And then when they bumped into each other, then Ghostwriter hopped from book bag to book bag, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I was tracing that like he kept going from like word to word. So like anytime there was something
sure.
new to read, Ghostwriter went to that thing, and it wasn't just random.
Right. Because it
I
originally
think there's rules in this universe.
Maybe.
I am not kidding. This is like the prime time where we actually like funded like educational research for television for children.
Hey man,
So, like,
Nike. Thanks to Nike.
thanks to Nike.
Shouts to Nike.
Just do it.
We're just trying to get some shoes on this pod.
Like yeah, that would be great. But also like how great is it that they support this? I don't know. I found for an educational show, this was super engaging in the story and it was scary. There was like for like children, I don't know, Jimmy's looking at me like no.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I thought scary horror genre LARPing. I think that's weird. I think LARPing is a little scary to me. Anyway, I just don't know
Yeah.
enough.
I was reading a little bit of an interview with one of the creators, and she was saying that it was a challenge to put the writing team together because they had to find people that could like write convincing child characters, and then also write like interesting mystery stories, and they also wanted to be multicultural. And then they had to fit all of that within the like teaching curriculum that they were doing. So they had like a panel of teachers like working out the curriculum, and they had to like work that into the story. So like they got people who had like written for TV before. They got someone who had written some Nancy Drew books, and like they just like brought them all together to like make this show.
This is just like making me so sad.
Yeah,
about,
can
like,
you imagine
state
if you
of
had that kind of
education.
team like helping you with your curriculum? Claire?
Yeah.
Helping me with dude, they gave me a curriculum for this year. PS, we're all still in COVID, right? They gave me a curriculum that has no distance learning components, and we're not supposed to do any direct instruction, and it's a full direct instruction curriculum. Like I'm gonna jump out a window. Anyway, maybe I'm just gonna use Ghostwriter as my lesson plan.
I think
Here
you
we
figured
go.
out what you're gonna do.
Hey man, all the episodes are on YouTube for now, at least.
Until I start to
Until this
Until this
comes out.
podcast goes out. Yeah.
till my classroom goes live. Really, let's be honest.
Oh man.
Anyway.
So I'm trying to think. There's a couple other characters maybe.
Oh, we got to
There's
talk
Grandma.
about Alex,
There's Grandma
Oh.
Jenkins.
who
She's
works
like,
for the post office,
oh,
Mhm.
she does.
because there's
And-
gonna be mail involved in this.
Yeah, this gotta be they gotta be pushing mail hard in this show.
Oh, okay.
We used to spend a lot of money on like supporting the mail like that way, like promoting it. Like there's a lot of like weird cartoons for kids. We used to tell kids to collect stamps. There's a lot of weird stuff that they did in the 90s for the post office.
Yeah, we need to start that
It-
up. Apparently.
yeah, right?
Apparently.
But yeah, then there was Alex, was the
Yeah,
friend in the
Alex
grocery store.
and Gabby, his
Oh,
little
yeah.
sister,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Gabby's backpack got stolen by a
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah, by
thing.
one of those
the-
creeps.
one of the horror dudes. And then their parents are mad at Alex for going ahead with this because they're walking to school and she goes to like tie her shoe and he just keeps walking, and that's when stuff gets stolen. And then later we see the scene where they're in their grocery store, and that's when the parents are angry Spanishing at each other, at the family. And then Lenny comes in. So we've got Lenny and then her dad and his band.
Mhm.
I think that's everybody. Besides
That's pretty much it, yeah.
the ghost like paint swatch thing that's flying around. Spirit thing.
The Sprite.
Yeah.
What did you call it? You had a good word for it.
Orb.
Orb. I
Yeah.
like that. I'm gonna
Just a floating
remember
orb.
We're calling it an orb.
Alright.
Dude, I'm super pumped to see this last episode. Although I feel like I'm gonna be like it's like reading the end chapter of a book in this
Yeah.
case, because they really do have.
Yeah, if I were to have
Stories.
like one disappointment in this first episode is that we don't get to see like how the kids communicate with Ghostwriter. I think we had kind of figured it out that like they were trying to yell at the ghost but the ghost couldn't hear them, and I think
Yeah.
we figured out that they need to write to it somehow.
Yeah.
Because it can only like read and write. But we didn't get to see the kids do that. It's kind of a cliffhanger of like, how do they figure this out?
Yeah.
That's
But,
why
like,
you gotta watch the next episode.
yeah, I
It's
know.
very
But like,
frustrating.
You wouldn't
give
tune
me
in.
give me a little something.
The
Oh.
last like
Give me a little
60
something.
seconds of this episode is just them yelling at the computer screen, and you're like, type it, you idiots.
Yeah.
And it goes on for so long, you're like, I'm going to reach through my computer screen.
You guys, there has
Slap
to be
your
an
mouth.
adequate amount of wait time for the learning to process for a younger brain. So I'm glad that you guys have developmentally appropriate reading skills. But yeah,
Mostly.
as an adult, very frustrating for that wait time.
I wasn't reading, I was watching TV. That's what my brain
Well,
can do.
did you read the computer screen? I bet you read the
A
computer screen
little.
without thinking about it, right? So
little
what
bit.
they're trying to do with the way that they shot that, and you can tell, is they're trying to teach kids to read. They're giving them the time to read it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all wait time, and that's why I'm really interested in the teaching aspects of this.
And I think that's kind of where the whole ghost that can only read like thing came from, is like the show starts from a baseline of they need to be able to show text on the screen prominently. So like, what kind of weird mystery thing can we write about that? It's like, oh, how about a ghost that can only read?
Well, and then I'm sure that anytime they show you text, it's like they show it to you, then they wait, and then a lot of the times they'll have someone read it or clarify it. So it's very clear that they're trying to keep you engaged to read, but also like not losing kids that can't read yet.
And if Ghostwriter is interacting with it, it's usually like flashing or like pulsing something to like bring your attention to it.
Yeah, that's true, because it's an orb.
It's a ghost.
It's a Ghostwriter.
Ghostly orb.
Cool.
Ghosty pen
So what's gonna
pal.
happen?
Yeah,
Don't we
who's
gotta do
got
predictions?
predicts?
Should we talk predicts?
I got some. Mine aren't great, but I'm gonna go with them.
Go for it.
I'm never great at these. Okay, so first off, I like dreamed up what I thought my favorite last episode would be, and I also realized this is like a PBS show, so there's got to be like some good conclusion to this, you know. So what I think, there's like a big party at the end, and I think that the grandma makes her caramel cake, and Lenny's dad has his band plays a performance. Just going in.
That's a
Okay.
good call. Brings it all together.
Now, we got Jamal. Jamal finds a way to put the ghost back into the book, and the book is called Octopus Monster. So shout out to Jimmy, who asked me to include Octopus Monster.
So they trap Ghostwriter back?
Yeah, they're
No
going to put the
more
ghost
reading.
right. They're going to trap it back in the book because they don't need the book anymore.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for your help. Get back in this book now.
Yes, but next one, they're going to give that book to Gabby, who is the little sister who's always trying to
can't
figure
read.
out what's going on. They're going to open the world of reading to Gabby. Did I do them all?
I
I
like
don't know.
it.
That's all I got. So we'll leave those ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that only 3? That's 3.
Those
I don't-
were separate.
It's like-
I'm not sure.
They're all kind of chunked.
Okay. Chunked
Chunked
predictions.
predictions. Plus, remember, I get a bonus point just for being here because Josh said that last time.
Whoa. What?
Okay. Just a participation
I
point.
get a participation point. I'm not here enough.
Okay.
Millennial.
So yeah, I got some, and one of mine goes like I think the opposite of yours, but we'll see.
How do you read that? It's so far away.
It's with the power of Ghostwriter, he helped me out.
Oh, true.
So I think because it's a very New York show, we haven't seen the subway yet, so I think we're gonna see Ghostwriter on the subway
Ooh.
in this finale here.
Nice.
Similar to the musical aspect of Lenny's family, I think instead of her dad though, I think we get to see Lenny rap.
Oh.
Live performance by
Ooh,
MC
like
Len.
on stage.
Maybe the dad will like play backup keys or something.
Yeah.
Or, like get some beats for her.
Little Lenny. I think that we get an extended dance sequence. I guess that's kind of tied to my Lenny raps, but I think even outside of Lenny rapping, I think there's like a weird little sequence where they're just kind of dancing for longer than they should be. Just filling time on the show.
Are there words on the screen or no?
Yeah, probably. I mean, because otherwise, how does Ghostwriter dance?
Oh, Ghostwriter's gonna dance. Okay.
And then my last one, I think Ghostwriter gets set free, like kind of like a genie.
Oh, the opposite of me.
Yeah, so the opposite of putting him in a book and passing him on, I think they like somehow, this is like a spirit that's trapped and they're able to set him free.
Just flies into like a math book, and there's just a bunch of numbers everywhere.
I can see numbers now. I'm
Ooh.
math writer.
I would definitely watch that
Ghost
show.
math. All right.
Ooh, you guys got ideas.
There was
What are
definitely
you thinking,
a math
Jimmy?
show on PBS. I'm gonna look
Ghost
that up.
Adder.
3, 2, 1 contact. There's several,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
just math. I don't know.
Ghost Counter.
Okay, you're just gonna say oh.
I have. Wasn't there like a MathNet, like Dragnet, but it was with math. Anyway,
I'm sure there is, but now I'm gonna Google, so it'll be good.
I think that so when in the pilot when Jamal and Lenny run into each other, there's like a little bit of like preteen awkwardness. So I think maybe there's a little bit of Jamal plus Lenny romantic styles. going on. I think that they've named the ghost. They've given the ghost a name. They're on first name basis.
Oh, like they don't just call him
Whoa.
Ghostwriter?
No, I think that either they like find out the ghost name when they figure out how to actually talk to the thing, or that they just give it a name. But either way, it's got a name.
So it's like, oh man, Bruce has showed up again. Chuck is gonna help out.
I also have that Lenny's dad's band plays. Lenny's dad gets the
Ooh.
gig. So that
We all want some music in this episode.
that was the best part. And then just be silly, I have Samuel L. has been replaced by LeVar Burton of Reading Rainbow.
Okay, that'd be great.
Crossover from Reading Rainbow to this. Okay. Cool. Is that it?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Hot
Let's go
dogs.
find out. I want to see LeVar.
Oh yeah, I guess I should look up the finale title.
I
These are,
predict hot dogs, but
these are Josh
in order
things.
to get the point, everyone has to eat a hot dog.
Okay.
If at one point everyone in the shot is holding a hot dog.
They all just eat the same hot dog and just pass it around. All right, so this is part 3 of Attack of the Slime Monster, the finale of Ghostwriter. So we will see you all after watching this finale. And we're back from the finale of Ghostwriter, entitled Attack of the Slime Monster, part 3.
4.
Part 4.
We made it through part 4. We didn't watch.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
That's the last thing. I showed.
January 20 yeah. January 22nd, 95 through February 12th, 95
Mhm.
was the Slime Monster saga of
And a
fame.
saga it was. It's fun to see the conclusion of something at least. And we did get like a recap at the top of the episode that was like, here's what's happened so far in this series.
Did anybody else
Yeah.
just have a moment when you watched the recap and went, oh my god, I remember all of this, and I remember the slime monster, and I remember all, like, it was fantastic.
I feel like I vaguely remember the slime monster. I definitely remember the slim monster, which was a joke that they did.
Yeah.
You remember the
But yeah,
typo?
we'll get into that too. Yeah.
Of course you would remember the typo.
Yeah. Do you have a write-up for this?
Yeah, here's what I have is from Wikipedia. The team helps Casey write her own story for a contest revolving around a Gooey Gus doll. And that's the whole write-up, and that's basically what
Okay.
happened. But that's
Cool.
also the write-up for the entire saga.
Yeah. I guess the thing I would start with is that there's a lot more kids now.
Yeah.
Like in the first episode, we met Jamal, Lenny, and Alex as the 3 main kids, and then like even in like
We knew Gabby then.
and Gabby, and like in the
Gabby.
intro part of the first episode, there was still other kids
Yeah.
in that intro that we hadn't met, so there was still more kids to meet. But then even beyond just those kids from season 1, there was like 3 other like smaller kids. One of which I think is Casey, the one that was mainly writing the story.
I think it was Casey's like homework or contest thing.
Yeah, who was one of the younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
So she's writing this story about a slime monster, and it seems like throughout this arc, they've been like writing this story as a team, like kind of trading off and passing around ideas and trying stuff out, and then going back and trying
You
something
mean
different.
they've been using the skill of editing?
Yeah, they've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of team editing.
They did.
Casey's had some ghost writing.
No,
being done.
Yeah, whole.
Also,
I don't
she's
think it was
totally
like a-
cheating.
It's
Yeah,
not a school project. It's a they were
Was it a
together.
contest?
Apparently.
I guess.
So what? How cool would it be if a cool group got together to write a slime? That slime monster is such a terrible looking thing. It is not scary at all.
It definitely
yeah.
looks like a Power Rangers like baddie.
Yeah.
Yes!
It looks like the slime monster that they're basing the story off of is like this like purple doll that like one of the kids has, which is like it's kind of the
Yep.
size of like one of those like old like WWF like wrestling dolls.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
2.5 feet tall.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like
Like
2.5 feet tall and
plushy.
rubber and it's purple.
It looks like chewed up bubble gum is like the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's wearing like a leather trench coat
Yeah, the leather trench coat is what kind of creeps me
and
out.
like a
that-
red turtleneck.
An odd.
And then it keeps
choice.
saying, "You laughing at me? Are you laughing at me?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is maybe why I get very anxious if I think people are laughing at me. Like maybe I
Yeah.
got it from this.
You
So
got
in
it
like
from
the in the reality of the show, like the doll is like this little 2-foot thing, but then when they go into like the story world of the story that they're writing, it's this like 6-foot tall monster that's terrorizing them.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Can I just read the quick IMDb write up? That's
Yeah, for
also
sure.
one sentence. It says for this episode, it says the slime monster continues to traumatize Canadian children into repression.
Great.
So no idea what any of that's about. Mostly
I
incorrect.
guess there's the main plot of them writing this story, but then there's also a side plot of Lenny and her friend Tuan are like playing in a band together at their like middle school prom.
There's like so much social emotional learning packed into this episode. I just kept going to Joe like, "There's doing social emotional learning." I'm sorry, this is not a teacher podcast, but we need to like make this be a teacher podcast right now. Holy
Anytime
crap.
you do a PBS show, you're basically saying
Yeah.
we're talking about education.
We'll post this on teacher.reddit.com.
Nice.
Sure,
Is that a
I'll have
thing?
to join.
Yeah. But yeah, the other thing going on is that Lenny and her friend Tuan are playing in a band at their middle school prom.
Okay, pause there. Like
Yeah.
middle school prom.
Yeah.
Are you sure
Weird.
it's middle school?
Yeah, because they said they were
They said they're
graduating middle
graduating
school.
school. Okay. I didn't know if they were talking about all of the kids or some of the kids when they said that. Like,
Just the oldest
Yeah, I
three,
think
just
the biggest
OGs.
kids. Yeah.
oh wow, that's nuts. Okay. Because they
Yeah,
look
so they have, like, a-
definitely older than that at this point.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, so they have this like dance that they're playing at, but like there's kind of a love connection there between Lenny and Tuan.
Twan.
Well,
Or maybe not even
Will
a
they,
love
won't
connection,
they?
maybe just like a like connection. Who knows?
It was so middle school.
yeah.
But yeah, it was very middle school in
But
that
the
they
dad
just like
got creepy.
they definitely like had a crush on each other, but were both embarrassed about having a crush in general and embarrassed about that they might like say something weird, which they will because they're 13.
And so they did a slow, like, hands on shoulders, hands around back, slow dance after the dad went to bed. But before he left, he said he would be up in case someone wanted to talk about their feelings.
Aw.
Cool.
I thought that was a lot. But very supportive parenting. I also, my other favorite adult moment in this was Grandma. I forget her. Grandma what?
Jenkins.
But Grandma Jenkins. She is so adorable and like comes in is always like getting the updated chapters of the story because she's gonna be following along. And then they also had a lot of feminism in this. Like the
Yeah.
strong
Strong
women are
women.
gonna like stop this. That was great. Although a man in the end totally was the one that defeated the.
Yeah, Jamal was the one who would save the rest of the friends in the end.
He figures it
Well-
out.
Well,
but then
did he,
Tina dumps the stuff on him.
Yeah, it's really both Tina and Jamal.
All right, okay. Then you know what? PBS, I'm not mad
Yeah.
at you. There was like 2 seconds there where I was like
Yeah.
getting a little pissed.
We didn't really get there yet, but
Oh, sorry.
no, but we could skip ahead to that. They're trying to come up with like an epic conclusion to their story. And what they come up with is that since this guy is like gooey, like gum based, is that they should do something relating to his origins and his like composition. So they write up that one of the characters figures out that the gum is made from like vegetable oil as its softener.
Did you guys? He goes, Ghostwriter, help me read. And then he's reading this like textbook that he's opened.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ghostwriter highlights a word for him. And I was just like, oh man, how cool would it be like if you got to be like, Ghostwriter, help me read. And like you could just be better at reading. I would want that
I
immediately.
think that's Google. Like
Yeah.
when you
Tell me
Google
what I
something
need to
now,
know.
when you Google something and then you click on the search result, like it'll highlight for you like the 2 sentences where it found something that it thinks you might need.
That's
yeah,
right.
but you can't always trust Google. I don't know.
Well, you
You're
can't
right.
always trust Ghostwriter.
You're
so.
right. You're right. Google is way better than Ghostwriter. I'm sure in the time that this is written, Google would be like the future, and they wouldn't. know
Google
what
would
it
have
is.
taken down this like grape monster so fast. Also,
So, yeah,
did
so
you
the
guys?
plan-
Did,
Yeah, what?
Sorry, did you see? It, so that at one point in the story, they've escaped to the grocery store and they're like hiding out in there, and trying to figure out where to go from there in the story. But did you see the door that they ran in through into the grocery store? It said uvas con carne, which is grapes with meat. Like, so is that what this guy
It
is
was like
supposed
something
to
that they're
be?
selling.
This meat grape? I was I thought about it, I was like, that's just really weird and random. Like, maybe is this from a different episode? But I think they're just saying this monster is just a grapey
What if there's, like-
meat bag.
What if there's like a lot of hidden gems like that in this? Like
I hope so.
the people have put in.
That'd be great.
I hope so.
I
Like,
mean,
I
I didn't get that.
I wouldn't have caught that. I just realized like how dumb it was that they thought they were gonna cool it down by throwing frozen things at it. Come on, kids.
What a waste of ice
Yeah.
cream.
I thought they were gonna like lure it into the
Like
freezer. or
go
something.
into the freezer to get it
Yeah.
cold, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so glad you guys were with me.
Yeah,
I
I
was
thought
so
they were gonna
annoyed.
freeze him and then like crack him or something.
I just assumed they didn't have enough money to pay for a freezer like on the set. So it was like let's throw some items at
You
it.
just put kids in a room and make them act
Just
cold.
put,
That's
like,
how
a
you
fo-
build a
fog
freezer
machine
on
on.
set.
Yeah, you just put a fog machine.
Well, he wouldn't have had to look up what the components were. He wouldn't have had to have Ghostwriter help him read.
It's true.
So yeah, so his plan is, since the vegetable oil is the softener, he'll just like load him up with vegetable oil. So he goes to Lenny's apartment and Tina's there. She was able to get away.
Oh my gosh, and they were all like, they got Lenny. She's in a cocoon on the back of the door, and it's like, looks like a balloon that she's trying to breathe
Yeah, it's
through.
like a big purple balloon.
That's terrifying. And also, like, the whole time I'm like, cut it open.
Yeah, she
That's
can't
a
breathe.
kid.
She can't breathe.
It's a child.
She's stuck in there. It's sticky. So like Jamal like distracts the monster, and then Tina comes up behind him and pours a whole bottle of vegetable oil, essentially just disintegrating him, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
But then
Oh.
in real life, they finish
Twist.
writing the story, and they're like, okay, let's all go to our graduation party now. So they go to this graduation party. And they have a nice little moment where like Jamal gives the 2 older kids, Alex and Lenny, these like special Ghostwriter pens.
Yeah, I totally wanted one of those
Yeah.
when I was a kid. I'm buying those for my brothers for Christmas.
I forgot that this was a thing, that they had like these pen necklaces that they would wear, so they would always have a pen on them so they could write whenever they needed to talk to Ghostwriter.
Yeah.
But he gave them like these like
Makes
special
sense.
ones that were like silver and like on like a
Necklace.
some sort of aluminum chain, which is pretty cool, I guess, for an 8th grade gift.
That's a great 8th grade
Still.
gift.
Yeah. And he was like, this is so we always remember the person who brought us together.
A
And
ghost.
we'll always be together. Yeah.
But then
the ghost that we all talk to.
But then
And then Tina is like, hey guys, I think the ribs are done, because these 12-year-olds made ribs.
on a
They
grill.
probably just burned them, right? Like they didn't make good ribs, right?
They didn't make ribs at all.
There's like one time where like we had ribs that were like out of a bag. Those were weird.
Hey, that wasn't on me.
Like I don't.
Bag ribs? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten them? Like you can buy them at the grocery store.
Were they pre-cooked or like?
yeah, and then they're like frozen. And you just have to like.
You just heat them up.
You just like put them in the oven. I don't know. They sounded like they could have been good.
I mean, it was mostly just like sauce. It was fine.
Okay, so they go to get the ribs, and what do they find?
They open up the grill and the goo monster is there.
Gooey Gus.
And he yells at them and then he spits purple goo on all of them. Like just these shots of these kids getting like splashed
Gooed
with
in the
slime.
face.
Yeah, like literally in the face, and I think I even saw like some get in the mouth and we're just like, oh, they really had to like aim for his mouth on that.
Yes.
Like I feel like as an actor I'm
took
like,
that.
can I just like either not in the face or like let me know so I can shut my mouth and eyes before you hit me.
So no face shots for Joe. It's good to
It
know.
just seems unnecessary.
This is a kids show.
That's
don't need
true.
that.
Sorry.
Don't
But
need
then
that.
it says gotcha.
Yeah, like that was part of another story. It was a story within a story.
Yeah, so then
I
they
loved it.
cuts back to Jamal's bedroom and all the kids are still there at the computer and they're like, gotcha, and that's the end of this whole show.
Yeah. It was all
Wait,
a story.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought you said something else for a second.
So like
Am I led to believe that none of this happened and it was all a story?
yeah. So the whole last saga of this show, which actually almost is better because for me I was like, okay, so so nothing has any consequences in this episode. It made
Because
me
they're all just writing a story.
yeah, it made me like lose interest for a little while. It's like, okay. Like I'm just here for Lenny and Twan at this point.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
real. That was very real
Let's
to
get
them.
it.
He even put the jacket on for their date. That was cute.
Yeah.
Because earlier they were discussing what they're wearing and Twan was just going to wear like whatever he was wearing that day.
It was
And like
Yeah.
and Lenny was dressed up like Mozart or something.
like Prince, like a
Oh,
a puffy
yes.
shirt.
Ooh.
Prince. It was definitely like a Prince blouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Super Prince. I'm into
Do you got
that.
COVID, man?
No,
Like,
man,
what
I
is
just
going
got-
on?
Like,
Joe's
gotta
got
drink water.
COVID.
I'm talking more than I usually
by the
do.
Oh
way-
my gosh.
By the way, yeah, usually this is Josh. It's just nonstop. No, but so you said, Claire, earlier you wanted to do like a Where Are They Now? So
Yeah.
I looked up like each individual person in this, and most of them are nowhere.
boy.
They've done nothing since this.
Because they were child actors and we like ruined their
They were
lives with that.
apparently, I don't know, or maybe they went on to be writers. I guess I didn't look at that. But is there a writer database that I should be aware of?
You just went strictly to IMDb.
It's
to
on
actor
Ghost.
credits.
It's like
Right.
it's Ghost. Like no, I don't even have a good joke for that. I tried real hard. It didn't come out, guys. So, but who was somewhere?
So Twan is his name is Wellington Yang or Welly Yang, and his kind of claim to fame after this was that he was on several episodes of Law and Order SVU in the late 90s,
course.
early aughts.
Yeah.
um
Big Welly style.
big
I've probably seen some of those.
nah. Grandma was in a show called City Guys. That was
She looks very familiar.
4 seasons long. She's a lot of bit parts, but then she was in this one show that was like, sounds awful. It was like a Manhattan high schoolers who are just shitty is what it sounded like. But it was called
Oh.
City Guys. Never heard of it. 105 episodes. And then Lenny's done some like voice acting since, and that's really it. But before this show in 89, I think, she was in Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. So
Oh.
big.
So she was like the little girl in Pet Cemetery or like a different role?
I think so. I guess that's
Okay.
that's what I assumed.
I've never
Ha-
actually seen Pet Cemetery.
It's creepy. That's all I know.
I watched the remake and it was not great.
She's good at mysteries, I guess.
Yeah, she was.
Interesting.
Fit
Has
the
she
role.
like done any voice acting for anything we've heard of, or is it all like
It was
Chiquita
like
Bananas or
it
something?
was like a DC comics like animated show.
oh
So that was
Yeah,
like the
not
big
my
one.
alley.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super Friends.
Well, they helped me read when I was a child, so I like all of these children actors and hope that they have great lives because they're awesome.
I'm surprised
They
Jamal
deserve
didn't
it.
do anything. He was like the star, or like he was like the kind of the main kid,
Yeah.
if there was a main kid.
How is his acting,
Yeah.
though, really?
Not great. He kind of
Not my
overpronunciated
favorite.
things.
Not my
He was like,
favorite.
"All right, let's go now.
It was
I am a child."
he had a little bit of a like when he was on camera, it felt like high school like film project vibe
Yeah.
a little bit.
Like he's like trying to not look at the camera.
Yeah,
Dude, he's
trying
also
way
a
too hard.
kid.
Yeah.
All right. You guys
That's
are being
true.
mean to children.
Whoa.
But I did call out his acting skills already first.
Did you
so
see
I
what his
should've
name is, by
brought
the
it
way?
up.
Did you catch that?
Samson or Solomon?
Sh-
it have S in it?
Sheldon is his
Oh.
first name.
Sheldon Turnipseed.
Turnipseed. You think
remember that
that's a
from the first
stage
episode.
name or?
Turnip seed?
Turnipseed. Sheldon Turnipseed.
Wow.
He was apparently in something
Sheldon.
called Mo Better Blues
Huh.
with
Cool.
Denzel
Oh, there you go.
and
Oh,
Spike
Denzel
Lee.
did step in.
It's a Spike Lee movie.
Hmm.
Wesley Snipes.
So Jimmy, how much did you love this show? Like, are you gonna watch it again?
I mean, I'm super into that like first. I think I would blow through all of these and then stop at the goo.
You're
Like,
not
right
into
at
the
the goo?
slime monster?
I mean, A, I know how it ends, and B, the whole thing is not. There's no consequence to the episode.
Oh. Sorry, man.
I mean, but it's a fun. I saw the last episode. You know.
So you want like a gritty like mystery to be solved, like those
Yeah.
weird monsters in the park in the first episode.
I wanted to see him take down Thabto or whatever. And,
Thabto.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah. I need more of that.
Okay, I definitely think that Fabto is one of those, like, what are they? We're trying to think about what this is.
The
when you-
acronym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So an acronym is when you switch all the letters around and it's a new word. No,
No,
that's
that's an
like,
anagram.
Anagram. which is not the same thing as a cipher, which we also talked about.
Mhm.
I don't know. I want to know what Fabto stands for.
We'll never know.
It's got to be some other word. It's probably like read books. No, it doesn't work.
The Hell's Angels be the
No, I think it's a word with all the letters in the wrong order. Not that.
you think it's an anagram, not a
Yeah,
not an
man. I'm ruining all of this. Yeah, I thought it was an anagram.
acronym.
Like the
I
switchy.
don't
Yeah,
think
it
that
spells out-
spells anything.
I know. I'm just intrigued. I think it could.
Bado,
Both.
Okay.
Abado, two bat.
Wow. I know what game Joe should
Two
be playing all the
bat.
time. Like, these are some serious anagram skills. Need to give you some letters.
Ghostwriter taught me.
Woo! Did you ever have one of those little pens on a necklace?
No, but I feel like I'd like to like try it out now. Just see if I could would I write more things if I had one on my neck at all times?
Dude, you never write things.
Yeah, I never do.
I never
But,
have a
like,
pen when
I-
I need one. Otherwise, I have 70,000 pens.
You would just use it as a fidget. You would like spin it around. And
Yeah,
like,
that's true. I wouldn't really write with it.
I don't really like to write with pens that are like the size of my thumb. Like they're tiny.
That'd be
pens.
weird to me. You get cramp
Like-
just instantly.
Yeah, I like little pencils, but little pens, no, thank you. Just you know,
Mhm. Cool.
fun fact.
So generally I think I wish it was, I want it to be like digitally remastered. I think
Oh my gosh.
it hurts my eyes a little bit to watch this in like 240p.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see if it awakens more memories. It's also there's that famous clip of Julia Stiles in this show. You guys seen that?
What?
There's like a storyline about like the internet and hackers and stuff. And
Nice.
Julia Stiles plays this like 12-year-old hacker. And she has
Excellent.
this whole speech that's like, you don't even know about the dark web. You don't know about the double dark web. And you haven't even like surfed the cybers like I have.
Man.
Just a bunch of like half made up
Fantastic.
jargon, and she's very cool.
She is awesome.
Julia Stiles. Wonderful.
Dude, Samuel L. Jackson, Julia Stiles, they got some people in this.
Yeah. I'll tweet out the link to the Julia Stiles clip. It's something to behold.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm like looking forward to watch it right now.
Yeah. I really just want to watch like the first saga and finish up Samuel L's arc here, and then just immediately watch like Pulp Fiction after.
Just skip to it, yeah. Cool. Well,
Cool.
should we check in on some points?
Oh, yeah.
Who got it points?
So,
Not me.
Yeah, I didn't get there's no cake, there's no band play. We didn't no. So I get a point for participation.
Oh gosh.
Participation
Nice.
point. Noted.
Right.
That's
Take
right.
it.
Substitute point.
I had that Ghostwriter's on the subway, which we didn't see because they're mostly on the same sets that we've seen, right? Just like in both the apartments and the store. So I guess Nike didn't pony up enough cash to get a subway set.
Dude, this last one was also sponsored by Sega.
Yeah.
They had all of the
Man,
companies
getting all the kids.
supporting educational TV.
I had that Lenny raps, which we had her writing. I don't know that she technically rapped. She recited a little bit and then sang a little bit.
That was
Yeah.
also in the recap.
I didn't know if you were like if you meant like she was like performing or not.
I guess I kind of thought performing.
I would give
listen. Let's put a pin on that as like a maybe.
you. Okay.
And then maybe we'll average out some of my maybes here because I feel like I've got a few maybes. So Lenny raps maybe. And then I have Ghostwriter gets set free like a genie.
No.
Which there was no real resolution with Ghostwriter. He wasn't even at the party.
He's with them forever.
Yeah. For life, I guess.
I think Ghostwriter just goes as Ghostwriter wants, you know?
If you had a pen with you right now on a chain, Ghostwriter could be here.
I guess, like, we hadn't mentioned this yet, but I had read this on the Wikipedia that they had intended for... They never reveal who Ghostwriter is, but they had always intended for the origin to be that Ghostwriter was a runaway slave, like during the Civil War, who had like run away and had taught other runaway slaves to read.
Wow.
I
That's some
love
heavy
that.
shit.
Yeah, and that like the Ghostwriter was originally like found by some slave hunters with dogs. And so that ties into why like Ghostwriter in the show like doesn't like dogs or is afraid of dogs. They had this whole like mythology built out about Ghostwriter being a
Whoa.
runaway slave that they just like never went with because I think they just like got canceled before they could write it out, or they just kind of liked keeping the mystery. But yeah.
This show like knew what was happening in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's very
Dang.
interesting. Cuz
It
yeah,
is,
his first thing is like where are the children? Are the children safe? Like what is that about? I want to know.
Yeah, I guess
like-
that does make sense if like the last thing before you died was like being hunted. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Dark.
You don't get points for
Dark.
that. That you
That's-
just shared. What about how many points do you have?
Okay, so I had
He has
Ghostwriter
maybe
gets set
one.
free. So that's a no. And then my other maybe was that there's an extended dance sequence. And like at the party, when they're like panning over like the crowd of kids, there was like a little bit of dancing.
There was
There's a little
also a
bit of
slow
grooving.
dance.
There was a slow dance.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I feel like you get a point for dance.
Okay, so a full point for dance, and then do we say I get anything for Lenny Raps?
I don't think so. I think if we're giving you a full point for dance,
All right.
Okay.
It evens it out.
Yeah.
we didn't.
You-
Had we seen her perform at the prom, had they like worked that scene in, maybe they cut it for time,
Mhm.
I would have given it to you.
Fair. I'll take the 1. That's, better than I've done most weeks.
Hey, you got one. Now,
Yeah.
Jimmy, did
That's-
you get any?
No, I didn't. Jamal and Lenny are not together because she's with Twan, hanging out.
But you called that romance. You called it.
You
You saw.
I should have kept it more vague. I should know by now. I said they named the ghost. They're just calling it Ghostwriter. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes GW.
G-dub. Then I said, oh, Lenny's dad didn't play, and that Samuel L. has been replaced by LeVar Burton. So apparently, and we didn't see any adults at Jamal's house besides Grandma, so not sure where they're at. And then
Yeah, no parents there.
and then just Lenny's dad, Max, I think is his name.
It's like they replaced the a lot of the adults in this series with children.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Took out the adults and put in kids,
they
which
weren't
is fine.
they weren't hitting. Nobody wanted the rents.
Probably just pay the children less too, so there's that.
That's probably true.
Again, Nike. Gotta give up more cash if you're trying to get Sam L. Jackson.
Yeah. And Julia Stiles. Very
I'm gonna
young
send out that
Julia
clip.
Stiles. Cool.
So, thanks again for, joining us for another First and Last. Thank you to our guest drop in Claire.
Whoop whoop.
Thanks to, Jimmy for usually doing his thing. Thanks for Josh to not being here.
Joe,
Yeah.
do you want to be thanked for
Thanks, Josh.
taking over and
Yeah.
doing all this work
Yeah,
that
sure.
Josh normally does? Because it seems like you're fishing for.
I don't even know that he thanks people at the end of these, does he?
I don't think
he
he's
does.
ever thanked people, and then you never say goodbye.
No, I
Josh
never
has
do.
never thanked me for anything.
And I saved his
I've
life.
been meaning to talk to him about that.
Well, take it from me. Thank you, Jimmy.
Aw.
We thank you.
Go watch
The
Ghostwriter.
royal we.
Like right now, though. You should do it. It's a great show for right now.
Oh, I just got a text from Josh, actually. He said, thank you, Jimmy.
Oh,
Thank you
Lies.
for
there you go.
everything.
Lies.
I saw it coming.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. Let's see. I guess things to note, if you like this, give us a thumbs up or 5 stars or 5 thumbs, however the ratings work. Don't know how that is. Or just share it. Just send it to a friend. Be like, hey, here's a podcast I listened to. It was about ghosts, but don't get spooked.
Yep.
Send this to all your teacher friends. I'm sure they'd appreciate
Oh my
it.
gosh, please. It's hilarious. Like, they would understand it and enjoy it. Also, just let's get a lot of teachers listening to First and Last. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm into
Start a
that.
community.
Otherwise, if you have suggestions about a show, you could email us at fandlpodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on the Facebook page. We've responded to both, and we've done a lot of shows off of those suggestions. So, really works. We're really out there.
People need to start fighting for this PBS month because I'm tuning in.
Yeah, start
Nice.
a petition.
Yeah.
Write
Join
your local
us.
congressman.
Zoom bomb us while we watch. Do people still do that? People still
I hope so.
bombing Zooms? All right.
I try every weekend. I'm just jamming passwords into a Zoom. Try to get into a random room.
Yikes. Okay,
Well,
I think we did it.
That's it. If this isn't enough of a goodbye, Josh can edit it and fix it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
You know he won't. All right, bye everybody.
Josh just texted me. He says goodbye. So see ya.